Hi there, a very good morning and good afternoon to all of you, depending on wherever you're watching me. And this is simply Stocks with another video. And this time, this video relates to Tata Elixir. Now, this company, and normally now from now on, I'll be putting up videos on Mondays, hopefully. That would be very good investment picks from a 4 or 5 year point of view. Stocks that had done well but have probably corrected from the top and have come out with very decent numbers. So Tata Elxsi is right up there because of the kind of numbers it has produced. Yes, they are not producing 30-40% growth at the moment, but the stock has also corrected a lot from the top. In fact, 40-45% from the top, and has gone up from around 56-5700 now and is settled around 7000. So we'll discuss about this. Let's get started. And so let me just do the disclaimer, etc. So let me just reduce my video and let's go to the disclaimers and then to the screener website where we are going to discuss about Tata Elxsi. So first of all, a disclaimer that this is not a stock recommendation. People taking any position to any share that I talk about should do that with their own due diligence and research, and I'm not in favor or against any company that I talk about. I'm not a portfolio advisor and a member of NSC or BSC. I'm not that. So I'm not an official portfolio advisor, and all the discussions that I have that I do on my channel is purely for educational purposes and making you understand whatever I have understood over the last 11-12 years in the market, and I try to impart that knowledge and give that knowledge to you. So we'll be analyzing stocks in that manner. Any financial decision that you take, kindly do consult your financial advisor and then take a call. And all financial decisions have market risk attached to it, so kindly take that on note. So before I talk about Tata Elxsi, here's small request that kindly support me on Patreon. And once you do that, help me grow the channel, help you also ask me questions, seek out answers in greater detail. Once you get the $10 membership, you'll have access to my portfolio, my watch list, and a number of podcasts, etc. from time to time on short-term, long-term calls. You can ask me a number of queries every day on stocks, on markets, etc. And if you can pay $100 upfront, you get 1 year access by paying for 10 months. So that's a 17% discount. For detailed market or company talk, or you want to have a discussion one-on-one with me, you can email me and we can work things out with a fee. And also, if you cannot pay on Patreon, you can be a member on YouTube or WhatsApp by clicking on the join button on YouTube, or just emailing me for WhatsApp membership. And probably you can have a yearly membership on WhatsApp and you'll get all the benefits of Patreon there. Now let me take you to the screener website and let's discuss about Tata Elxsi. So basically Tata Elxsi has come out with very decent set of numbers, but again valuations were stretched, so the stock hasn't gone up or down that much. The market cap of the company, as you see here, is around 44,000 crores, and this has been a huge wealth creator for people over the last 10 years. At least being a 10 bagger over the last 10 years has done exceedingly well, and it had peaked out at around 10,800, 10,900 levels. That was the highs, and stock has done appreciably well, but over the last 4-5 months it has corrected. So if you see here, the high, as I said, was around 10,500 in August, and then the decline took place from last year August. You would remember that how all IT companies, in fact the IT index, fell 20-25%, and the stock fell all the way down to around 56-5500 levels. And from there on in, the stock has recovered immensely and has gone up by a decent level, I think 30% from there. So we'll discuss about the numbers, but let's just have an understanding of what the company does. So they are basically among the world's leading providers of design and technology services across industries, including automobiles, in which they are big into EVs, media, communications, and healthcare. Basically, they were into animation and all. If you remember, if you are old enough, probably in the mid 90s till early 2000s, they were big into these animation and Cartoon Network, etc., Pogo, and so on and so forth. All throughout the 2000s, in the early part of this millennium, they did that. From 2010-11 onwards, they got into automobiles, automotives, and then in the last 3 4 years they are now big into the EV segment, and they have major clients in there providing software solutions in the EV segment. And so all your dashboards etc that you see in EVs more or less comes from Tata Elxsi, and those kind of technology comes from Tata Elxsi. So the AI etc, all this is a company that is in there. Now the fact is that it had gone up to being 55,000 crore market cap company, and that is why people overlooked it and were looking at smaller companies. But since this is a pure investment pick on my behalf and not just a 6 months, 1 year, 2 year pick, this is a good 15, 20 year pick. I'm looking at these valuations at Tata Elxsi very closely to invest for my child's education and long term. So you can do your analysis. A Tata's brand is attached to it, very good corporate governance into the IT space, market cap of 45,000 crores, looks extremely good. So it provides integrated services from research and strategy to electronics and you can say mechanical design, software development, validation and deployment, and is supported by a network of design studies, global development centers, and offers a worldwide, you can say offices are worldwide. So if you look at geographical presence for the company, if we look in detail in here, then we'll see that the company is present across the world, with Europe contributing for majority of their business, and that is why it did not do well for 1 year from July August onwards, because Europe absolutely nosedived in terms of economic condition there. And so it has revenues of around 37% coming from there, America 36%, so around 72% of their business comes from US and Europe, and that is where the major chunk of problems stood. And this is where I believe, not as a trading pick, but from a 3 to 10 to 15 year period, this is the time to get into such companies which are big into Europe and US, because I believe by the end of the year the clouds would have gone away and things would have settled with respect to economic situation there, with the respect to probably the pound, dollar, etc., the currency situation that we are facing, the economically, with the job situation and all. I mean, these are all cycles, so they have to come out of it one day or the other. And so, especially UK has been in trouble since the last, you can say, 18 months or so, and now probably we are seeing green shoots, and hopefully from August, September onwards, things will look better, and that's why I'm looking at Tata Elxsi now. Uh, if you look at industrial design and visualization, it is 9% of their business. Embedded product and design is 88% of their revenue. This division provide technology consulting, new product design, development and testing services for various sectors like automotives, broadcast, consumer electronics, healthcare, telecommunication, and transportation industry. So this is the division that is into AI. This is the division into driverless cars, etc. Even they are working on that, and especially into EV. This is the division that is into EV. 88% of their business comes here. Plus, they are into animation, and that is why media comes into the play, that they provide services in that, which is broadcast. So they are big into that, which they developed over the last 25 30 years, and they are perhaps the market leader in that space. So overall, the business per se, most of you might have understood as to what sort of business it has. It is a unique IT company. It is not a simple IT services providing company, and that is why the PE you see here is around 55 60 and is growing even further. Plus at peak levels they used to have PE of 70 75. So currently it is trading at very reasonable average PE levels. If you look at the numbers, per se for Tata Elxsi in the March quarter, they did around 800. And if you look at the consolidated numbers, that might be the one to look at. Let me just have a look at if we have the consolidated numbers. No, not quite. So it is the standalone numbers that we should be looking at with respect to Tata Elxsi. So they did around 840 crores of sales, 840, 850 crores if you include other income. The margins were around 30%. It was stable. In the last 3 quarters, they have been doing 30% margins. So it has come to reasonable stability. Now, what is interesting to see is that in March of 2020, they did margins of around 25%. So they have grown steadily, but they could do margins of 35-40% going forward as well. That is what we are looking at, and that is where most of the, you can say, run up in the stock would take place. So 840 crores of sales versus in March quarter of 680 crores of sales, that is a growth of 22-23%. And that is perhaps where the stock has not moved, because usually they used to do around 40-35-40% growth rates, but here they are doing 23-24%. uh, in terms of operating profit, they've come out with 250 crores of operating profit, whereas last time around in March 21 they had 221 crores. So the operating profit jump has been only 12-13%, and this is where the disappointment lies, that margins have stood year on year, have stood at 2% lower, and that is why numbers are not that great. Although on the bottom line, because of, you can say, better other income, etc., they've come out with decent numbers on the net profit basis. But yes, margins have dipped year on year. But what I believe is that these are the worst margins in the last 3 quarters that we are seeing, and hopefully one more such quarter may come up, which will be the June quarter, and things will look much better. So I think the big run could start happening from September onwards, August, September onwards, and this is the time to really accumulate the stock. It is exactly what is happening with the, you can say, you have the contract manufacturing companies, say Dixon, Amber, etc., that the run up has already, that has begun, and they were abysmally placed, say 1-2 months back. So we have to get in. Being an investor, you have to get into stocks at least 3 to 4 months earlier. And yes, you can take some pain. Probably the stock may go to say 6,000 levels even, but I think the upside could be pretty big. So this time around they did 121 rupees of EPS versus 88 rupees, which is very decent. Another time where the company has grown. So from 88 to 120, one is around 33 rupees of EPS jump, which is a 37% you can say increase in net profit, which is very decent. So I believe that the stock could easily trade at 65-70 times going forward. That is my understanding. And even if you see that Tata Elxsi grows at 30% from here, then we are looking at somewhere around 158 rupees of EPS for next year. And if you mark it down at, you can say, 70 times, then we are looking at 11,000 again on the stock in probably 18 months time. So I will not be surprised once the run up happens in the IT industry. This is one of the foremost companies along with KPIT and other stocks that could really perform. I think Tata Elxsi could touch new highs in the next 18 months, based on the kind of numbers they are producing, based on the growth that they could do going forward once Europe and US stabilize. In terms of balance sheet, they are doing well. We have a situation where reserves are around 2,000 crores in 2018. Probably 5 years back, it was around 680 crores. That has tripled. No borrowing, little bit of borrowing has crept in because of slight expansion that the company is doing. In terms of debtor days, that has increased a bit to 113 days, but not alarming at all. In terms of shareholding pattern, promoter holds around 44%. FII holding has reduced from around 15% in June of 22 to around 13.8%, but I think FIIs should come back this quarter and buy into the stocks. The DIA holding has also reduced, and public shareholding has increased a little bit, but this is no alarming selling that is taking place, considering how FIIs have sold into Indian market in the last 1 year. So that is where the stability comes in. So all in all, based on a long term point of view, I believe that one can start accumulating here, buy more on dips to 6,600, 6,300 levels. And I would not be surprised that in 18 months to 2 years time frame, you could see the stock higher by around 40 to 50% in the next 18 months or so. So 11,000 is a very reasonable target to look at. Again, disclaimers do apply. Probably you can accumulate between here till 6,000. Keep a stop loss at 5,400. So that's a long-term stop loss that I believe that one can keep. I don't think that will happen, but in case, so you won't be able to lose much. So if you accumulate and you have a, say, a buy price which is between 7,000 and 6,000, so that will be around you can say 6,500, and a stop loss at 5,400. So you will be losing somewhere around 18% stop loss will be there, and the upside could be easily 50 to 60% when I'm talking about 11 to 12,000 on the stock. So 5,400, 5,500 is your stop loss. Buy on slight dips to 65, 6,600 if you get a chance, and hopefully one should make money over a 2 year period. But this is a very good long term pick. So what I mean by that is this 44,000 crore market cap could really swell a lot. So considering that, if you look at how yearly performance has been and how sales growth has been, compounded sales growth over 10 years has been around 18%. So if we take into effect that from now on in there could be more business coming in into Tata Elxsi, and with better economic position in Europe and US, I would say 19% CAGR growth over next 15-20 years is something that is very much possible for the stocks. And remember that the sales growth has been 18%, but the stock growth has been around 38%. Sorry, profit growth has been 38% and stock price growth has been 50% over the last 10 years. So and ROE is around 36. So if you look at ROE for Tata Elxsi, it's around at the moment around 40-41%, and that is where I like this company. I think the stock could easily trade at 65-70 times, and I will not be surprised if it gives you 19-20% over the next 15-20 years. So that will be a huge bonus, because if you do 19% over 4 years, that's a doubler every 4 years. So that is my take on the stock, and that is why the stock has come into my radar from a 15-20 year perspective. At 19% CAGR, 18-19% CAGR, the stock could grow because of the kind of business that it is into. So I will not be surprised if it doubles every 4 years for you, and over the next 20 years make you a lot of money. So this was a video on Tata Elxsi. Please like and subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so you get my videos straight away when I post it. Kindly support me on Patreon. Thanks a lot for watching.